these two stone tablets were given in the hands of two brothers who had same mother, but one of them had a very light complexion. And we refer to that young person or older brother, a white brother, because his skin is white, whiter than the other one, who has a color of Mother Earth. Our native people have that color that was to carry this knowledge, to take hold of it and keep it. So there was a separation made. The one with a lighter complexion, a white brother, was instructed to go east along the edges of land to another land, to take care of it and to use it and to develop things, to record things, to invent things, which he had done before. So that after he got so far, then he was to come back here to look for his younger brother who was left here to take care of this land in spiritual way with songs and prayer, ritual, fasting, meditation. He was to take care of this continent here in that fashion. So his white brothers to come with his inventions to help him when they come together, the material and spiritual will join, and together they're supposed to take care of this land in a real good way, in accordance with the Great Spirit's instruction. But there is a danger, they said, because he gave us both sacred symbols, circle. There's no end to this circle, just like there's no end to this life if we follow that. So each one was receiving that same symbol. So a white brother went east, then
well, did you find that interesting? Want some more? Hold on. If you're seeking, this might interest you. If you're not seeking, this will just make you mad. See this? Lakota medicine wheel. Interesting. A lot of the medicine wheels are all a circle. Because they thought, they had circular thinking, not linear. Divided into four. Interesting. Divided into four. Almost like you'd think 4 quarters of the earth or something, right? Let's look at something else over here. The original, or older Hebrew letters, petroglyphs, right? Now, there's some weird thinking back in the day that possibly the Indians, the Native Americans, tribes, nations here on this earth were related to the 10 tribes, or the 12 tribes of Israel, right? The lost tribes. And they had certain things that were very similar. These are the Hebrew petroglyphs letters, right? Let's look at that. See that? What is that? A circle. It means basket, snake, or surround. Divided into 4. I find that interesting. Want to hear some more? A blonde Indian with blue eyes? Legend or fact? I heard these stories as a child living in North Dakota, a mid-northern state. This is written by a lady, Neva Bowden. Known as the Mandan Indians, they lived in earth lodges along the Missouri River. No one saw blonde Indians anymore in the 1950s. When she was growing up, she's like, I heard all these stories, but but we never saw any blonde Indians in the 1950s. At least not, she says, at least not that I knew of. Because they tell us how everybody looked, right? They tell us a narrative. We believe the narrative. They were a mystery of the past. I have visited their earth lodges near Mandan, North Dakota. Sometimes the lie is sweet and the truth is rough. Want to dive in a little bit deeper? Or are you getting mad yet? I don't know. I'm making some people mad. I'm getting some some comments. Some people aren't happy, and other people are like, boy, I want to hear more. All right, Well, let me show you some more. Hold on a second. Let me bring you in close. You guys might want to just maybe pause this right now and check this out, read through this. Kind of a little interesting story about a guy who finds this stone raised up as he's visiting, supposedly first time exploring. He's by the Mandan area in 1738. He supposedly finds this rock raised up out of the ground with some kind of weird inscriptions that he thinks, they must be Nordic inscriptions. That's kind of funny. That's a kind of interesting thing you guys might want to look into. And, or you may not. It may just make you mad. So supposedly he takes this thing and he sends it off up north to Quebec, where the Jesuit priests look at it, and what do they figure out? They get their own idea, and they say they think this writing is Tatarian writing. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Funny, we don't really hear much about this kind of stuff. At least I don't. I never remember hearing this stuff in school when I was growing up, being taught history. And then, if this is true, they made a big mistake and sent it off to the French Secretary of State, where, they thought maybe the government would give them some answers, but, they never saw it again. That thing was vanished. And now that you have the Minnesota Historical Society, and they're offering a $1,000 reward for the stone's rediscovery. Well, that's not very much money, and that's probably not ever going to happen. I find that interesting. All right, well, that's going to do it for this video. Just dropping breadcrumbs for you guys. Anybody out there looking? Got this other picture over here. Find interesting. Here, I'll just leave you with this picture here. Interesting. It says, here you got some guys holding a Confederate battle flag. Bunch of white supremacists, I guess, right? Well, hold on a minute. No, this says the Cherokee Indians of Thomas Legion. They're posing during their Confederate Union in New Orleans in 1903. Wait a minute. What's that all about? Wait a minute. So the Confederate Indians were fighting to keep slaves during the Civil War? That's weird. The Cherokee Indians of the Thomas Legion. Posing during the 1903 Confederate reunion in New Orleans. A lot of interesting stuff. If you go looking around, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
They built their towers, they paved the lies, covered the stars and poisoned the skies. Truth in ruins, maps erased, we walk the roads time displaced. But the static sings if you listen close, buried voices from the silent coast. Whispers rise through the veil of ash, calling back to echo pass. You're not